back with another episode of the JDA show, Ep.19, coming at you here Thursday, September. Oh, there we go. There's a scene. September 24th, right? 24th. Yep. Jess, Andy, what's going on?
9/24. What's going on, everybody? Happy to be here. Got a big episode in store for you.
Do we? Once again, this is the third episode in a row that we were coming
off a Celtics loss.
Yep, third in a row.
I thought you were going to leave it at that.
And I'm actually most optimistic after this one.
True. So yeah, that's where we're going to start the show off.
I just want to get it out in front that if I sound sick, it's just my fall allergies. Okay.
No COVID.
Yeah.
He was tested right before the show, so he's good to go.
Yeah, RJ swabbed him himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a rectal temperature right before we started.
All right, so we're going to start the show off talking about what went down last night with the Celtics. We're going to get into some Patriots talk. Going to discuss the Lakers versus Nuggets matchup that's going on currently as we speak. Obviously going to talk about the NFL again heading into Week 3. Talk about Week 2 a little bit. Then again, we're going to do some betting and fantasy talk, and then maybe some miscellaneous stuff at the end of the episode if we have time. So let's start off with the Celtics. Is it over? Is the series over?
It is not over, but goddamn, they looked fucking sorry. And not only last night, but basically every one of their losses. I know it's easy to say they look sorry in a loss, but like it's just like an energy and effort thing for me. And something, I don't know what it is exactly. Like I know they have it in them, and I know they have the talent, the drive. At least you would maybe disagree. I think they really want to win, and they have the determination to get to the finals. But
doesn't seem like they've shown it, though.
Yeah, they just are getting out-toughed by this team, in my opinion. It's kind of like kids playing against men right now. But
I agree with that. What's his name? Bam looks like he's playing against 8th graders.
And he's one of the fucking kids on their team, though. Yeah. Like, he's younger than most of our guys. It's tough. But with all that being said, I'm not going to hit the panic button just yet. We've seen some 3-1 comebacks in this playoff so far, but I don't know. What do you think about it?
The thing is, the Celtics have kind of looked like shit since they were up 2-0 against Toronto.
Yeah.
They've put a lot, 4 or 5 bad games where they haven't looked good.
Yeah.
And my issue is seem like they get rattled way too easily with this when the defense is getting thrown at them. It gets late in the game, and it's over. I think the series is completely over. I don't know if it's going to be over tomorrow night. If not, it's going to be over Sunday. And so I think just something has to be wrong. They're way too much talent to be down 3-1 right now to this team. And sure, Miami is a good team. They play well together, but I just think something has got to be up with them that they're in this position. Especially how they looked the first 2 games where they were winning both games and then they blew it.
You're not completely wrong, but my little devil's advocate take against that would be that Miami's kind of stolen a few of these wins, with the exception to their last win. I mean, if you steal a win, you deserve a win.
It. Boston has given it away.
Sure, it's kind of.
I don't think the Celtics have anybody to blame but themselves.
No, you're not wrong in that either. But it's a little bit of both. Like it's a double-sided coin. Yes,
of course.
Heat have done it themselves.
You have to tip your cap to Miami in some ways, especially Hero last night dropping 37. I mean, that
like how do you like? I was listening to the First Take this morning and or NBA The Jump rather, and they're like, nobody's out there, like, Tyler Herro's name's not on the top of Brad Stevens' whiteboard in the locker room. Like, you can't plan for something like that. And the kid, it's not like he was just doing it out of a role position. They were running their sets through him. So it speaks to that team. And my hat's off to Tyler Herro. Like, I hate that little fucker, but
the Celtics defense looked so flustered last night at the end of that game. Like, you kind of said, like, either they're not rotating, they're not switching, they're not talking. It did... Like, how many open threes did they get? They look flustered on both sides of the ball.
It's like, they have like 3 or 4 turnovers in a row.
They had 7 in the fourth quarter.
That's exactly what I was
7 in the fourth quarter, which is completely unacceptable. And even before, they probably had 20 plus in the game. I know they had double-digit turnovers in the first half.
They for sure had over 20. I remember seeing 20 turnovers at one point in the fourth. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to win a normal NBA game turning the ball over 20 plus times. Never mind. In the playoffs, in the Eastern Conference Finals, against a team who's as hot as Miami.
It's simply unacceptable. And it's like, with this team, they can get up big, but I don't know about you guys, but the second they get down like 3, 4, 5 points, I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, I feel like they just can't overcome a 4 or 5 point lead. It's like, are they going to push it to 8? Then we're done. Like I just don't believe in them in those situations.
In this series, it doesn't seem like there's a guy that they can go to for points right now that's like, hey, I trust him with the ball. Who are you going to go to? Kemba has looked like a shell of himself.
Yeah.
Tatum was nowhere to be found in the first half of last night's game. Brown hasn't looked good, and Hayward is just coming back from that injury.
Yeah.
That's why I think the nervousness comes from us and from the players, because they know it. They don't know who.
Yeah, when your guys aren't cooking, like what else can we do if these guys aren't going right? I'll say this: Tatum's definitely like choked in big situations in this playoff run, but his numbers are there. He's still averaging almost 25. I think he's averaging 10 rebounds and 25 points a game. Not only in this series, but potentially the whole playoffs. People who I think are looking like a turtled shell of themselves are Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker. Something that watching them,
to be honest, everybody's been pointing the finger at Jaylen Brown, and
I just
I
can't
don't know
see that guy
been that bad.
I feel like he cannot create for himself in these playoffs. His main move is put his head down and try and get to the hoop, and like if it's not working for him, then
this is a guy that was frustrated after game 2. Or maybe it was game 1 that he didn't get a lot of shots in the fourth quarter, and then game 2, there was that huge blow up in the locker room.
Yeah, but the thing is, during that game 2, I remember, I at least you guys can maybe remember me saying it, that Jaylen Brown looked like he was sleepwalking out there, like he wasn't interested. This and that, so I don't know.
That's how Tatum looked in the first half last night.
Sure, I mean
the numbers you brought up on Tatum are fine. I've had no issue with him.
No, he's still producing
for the first
right.
90% of the game, but then when it comes down to like that last 10%, it's not just him, but he's supposed to be the best player on the team. He has to step up.
No,
that play last night where he pushed off on Butler, like what are you doing?
Yeah, and how he got the call still was crazy.
Yeah, and then of course he got fucking reviewed.
With that being said, though,
minutes.
he did hit those 2 back-to-back threes, and with like 4 or 5 minutes left.
It's too little, too late.
No, exactly, absolutely.
You can't, great, awesome plays. Let's not make it so you're put into a position to have to hit those shots in order to make it a game.
I don't think either of you are even saying it, but I'm not going to put the blame on Tatum for any of what's happening right now.
No, I don't know who I'm.
It's like a collective. Everyone's just a little off what they should be producing or doing for a full game.
The blame pie is getting handed out to
everyone.
Many
yeah.
But that means Tatum still gets a slice.
Absolutely. I won't even argue that.
I've been really disappointed with. I'm sorry, the coach. You got to get more out of these guys. I just don't get it from. They can't beat the zone. The defense looks horrible. It doesn't seem like you're really getting these guys to come out the gate ready to go. Like, it's game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and you come out flat like that. Yeah. It makes me worry that they've tuned him out, and they're just fed up with him.
Which is sad, because he is a good coach, and he does care about them. And maybe he doesn't have the ability to really get onto his players
that's what you need in the NBA, though, because they're all egos.
Well, he does. I'm sure we don't see behind the scenes. I'm sure he does get on them, but maybe he just can't. Maybe he just can't light that fire like someone like a Doc Rivers or a Greg Popovich can, where he's gonna fucking yell. And
apparently,
because he's a fucking robot.
I don't know. He's an X's and O's guy, and even now his X's and O's aren't looking great.
When that whole thing in the locker room happened, apparently whoever the guy was out there, I think it was Gary Washburn that reported. I guess Stevens was screaming at him too to tell him to shut up or stuff like that. But
I think he's got a fire
they listened. And you hear that it sounded like stuff was getting thrown around too.
Oh yeah, that physical items were being thrown against lockers and stuff. Yeah,
and you can't. I don't know. I mean, Denver came back from 3-1 deficits, and they didn't have to go. I just don't know why it had to get to that point in the locker room. And I get emotions are at
an all-time high, especially when you're in the bubble.
The reason,
especially when you feel like you're the better team in this series too. You know,
and you're frustrated.
If I told you mid-season that we were playing the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals,
you'd be licking our chops.
Be like, awesome.
Yeah.
And you get to go on to play either the Lakers or the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Be like, wow, the Celtics have a legitimate chance.
And that's why I think the season, especially if they lose tomorrow night, the season is a failure. To go down in 5 games to these guys, you're going down like a bunch of pussies.
I'll say if you go down in 5 games, I will even admit that the season's a failure. But if they go out and still force a Game 7 or a Game 6, with all the circumstances surrounding, I won't call the season a total failure. I'll call it a disappointment. But with everything that we've all said, Celtics
but you picked them to go to the Eastern
Celtics
Conference Finals.
Celtics
you picked them to go to the finals, though, so it has to be a failure.
It's not it's not a failure. It's a disappointment. That's what I would call it.
But,
I give the
Celtics in 7.
I give the Celtics about an 8% chance to win this series.
Really?
I give it a
8%.
0.
That's low. I'll give them a. I'm not going to give a percentage, but I'm going to tell you Celtics in 7 now.
Back to kind of what I was saying about the coach. I just think, like I said, there's something wrong with this team. I don't know if it's the coach. I don't know if it's the makeup of the team. There's too many mouths to feed. I don't know if it's the chemistry. If I'm Wick, I'm sick of, as a fan, of these guys, like the coach, the GM. I'm sorry. I'm sick of Danny Ainge getting a fucking free pass. And same thing with the coach. Danny Ainge has one championship in almost 20 years. You want to know he has that one championship is because his buddy, Kevin McHale, bailed him out when he was the GM for Minnesota and did that garbage trade where all Danny Ainge had to do was unload a bunch of trash. You're shaking your head.
What are you saying about Danny Ainge?
I'm saying
that he's overrated?
He's
pulled off some of the best trades in NBA history.
Danny Ainge is great.
What's that amount
and still
to?
one title in 20 years is still successful.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Compare it to other
And I'm not
GMs.
saying you should fire him, and I'm not saying he's a bad GM, but at some point,
I
agree. You have to go perform.
He's put the pieces out there. It's not. You can't call him.
No, if Kevin McHale doesn't send him a gift of Kevin Garnett, doesn't have a job right now.
He still pulled it off, and that's a conspiracy to say that he only got the deal done because it was Kevin McHale.
Well,
Do I need to bring up the trade? He unloaded a bunch of garbage to him.
Yeah, and picks.
Okay, but who gives a fuck what happened in 2008? The point is, he didn't make a deal at the deadline this year. You felt like you really should have. I mean, this team could really use a guy like Drummond or Big.
Sure.
Or a little more depth. Brad Wanamaker's your best bench player. I kind of agree with what RJ is saying. He gets this pass that he's like Bill Belichick or something like that. That he can do no wrong, and every step that he takes.
I'm more upset about Stevens getting a pass than Ainge getting one because Ainge, like you said, he does have a ring.
Well, let me highlight a couple of things before you move on from Ainge. Trader Danny pulled off arguably
not Trader Danny though, because he's hoarder Danny now because he likes to hoard onto all those fucking draft
the Nets
picks.
trade is arguably the best trade in NBA history. We absolutely fleeced the Nets, and that led to what? Jaylen Brown, Isaiah Thomas, and then we were to piggyback off that. He trades down in the draft to draft Jalen Tatum and lets the bust Markelle
That's fine.
Fultz
That was a great trade, and now you've cashed in those picks, and now you're going to be 0-2.
Yeah,
we're having a real shot to win the championship.
But these guys are still 22 and 23 years old.
I understand
think the expectations are a little too high for these guys. If you look at I saw a graphic that had
make those expectations.
NBA stars.
You're a part of making
NBA
those expectations as a fan.
Yeah, they're hopes.
That to them.
It's not necessarily expectations. If you look at the ages of stars when they won their first title, Steph Curry, 27 years old. LeBron James, 28 years old. These guys don't win titles normally at 22, 23 years old unless they're paired with a established winning veteran like Kobe Bryant, who won when he was young because he had Shaquille O'Neal.
I'm saying, if I'm Wick, I'm taking a look at the team. And if Stevens can't coach these guys and he's not going to get them to a championship level, he's got to go. If they've tuned him out, he's gone. And I don't want to hear, who you going to replace him with? They said the same thing about fucking Claude Julien, and they ended up with Bruce Cassidy, who's a good coach. They'll find somebody. And I don't know. That's just...
I'm not so stuck on Brad Stevens anymore.
I'm not totally hitting the panic button if we get bounced in this series, and I'm not saying you got to blow it up or make a serious change.
I'm not either, but do something.
I'm ready to give Brad
Stop
Stevens.
hoarding these fucking first-round draft picks. You know how many fucking guys are in Maine right now? They're going to run out of room down there. He should have cashed some of these picks in at the deadline, but for some reason, he just doesn't want to give up a roster spot from fucking Javonte Green or fucking Grant Williams.
If they lose this series, I don't want to hear anything from you about it's time to move on from Brad Stevens because that's ridiculous. This is bubble ball. He at least deserves one more season with the Celtics.
I agree.
Okay,
I want him on that, but he's in my.
Next year he will be on the hot seat.
I want him on the hot seat next season.
Sure.
I want to hear I am
fair.
starting to see some of the fans finally start to put some pressure on him, and I want to see that continue in the next year.
Sure, but how much do you really want to put a shit ton of pressure on him? Do you want to see these guys chirping him on social media and getting in his head? Do you think that's going to affect their success?
Well, I mean,
and at that
Brad
point, are
Stevens
you
even on
rooting for
social
him?
media?
No, but everything gets back to him one way or another. They got press people; they have ways of finding that out.
I want it to work out with him because, I am fearful.
Do you like
of what
him?
else is. Yes, I do like him. I've leaned towards liking him, but you got to perform it at some point. You have to go
The only thing he hasn't been doing is getting to a championship, and he hasn't had rosters that are championship rosters.
Okay, but this is his second year where he has, and he failed. So if they'll have after next year they'll have had 3 good seasons with good talent.
I don't know if any coach is getting last year right with Kyrie Irving in that situation.
But was it really all Kyrie last year, or did it have a lot to do with the coach himself that can't manage these egos?
I don't think that's on him.
Why were they blowing up?
I don't think that's on Brad Stevens.
Why were they blowing up in the locker room at each other then? I don't think it was all Kyrie. Clearly, there was some egos last year, and it was more than just Kyrie.
But does that fall on Brad Stevens, or is that just these players being absolute stuck-up assholes, and they're not? It's
on the players and the coach.
I think it's more so on the players. I will admit, maybe some of it's on the coach, but I'm not going to say that this is 2 years with a championship team. Yes, I think they had high expectations last year, but nobody could have seen that weird shitstorm in the locker room that was coming.
Wouldn't you have to say you've either overrated the team or the season's a failure, though?
This year or last year?
This year. You have to pick one.
This season's a failure, or I've overrated the team. Nah.
No, you don't want to. No,
nah.
I don't get how
I'd say it's a disappointment, or it's bubble ball, and they got fleeced.
Oh, so you're gonna? Oh, come on! You're gonna use the bubble as an excuse.
Not an excuse. They still made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and beat the defending champs in the second round in 7 games.
They didn't have Kawhi Leonard, so that doesn't mean anything.
It's still a great team. People were picking against the Celtics.
And you barely beat them.
But they beat them.
Okay, that's fine.
And they're not out of this series yet.
You couldn't even get to the Eastern Conference. Doesn't have LeBron. Giannis got bounced. They don't have Kawhi. Kevin Durant.
This will be 3.
They still couldn't get to the championship.
This is the 3rd Eastern Conference Finals trip under Brad Stevens in 6 years. That's success in its own.
I don't care what he did with fucking those bums, Isaiah Thomas. Now he's had real talent, and he's had real pressure on him and the team to go fucking not even get a title, go to the championship. And they can't even do that.
They're still in the Eastern Conference Finals, and the series isn't over yet, so let's not hit the panic button.
You picked the Celtics to go to the championship, correct?
Yeah, and I'm sticking to it. They're going to the championship.
So, but if they lose, it's a failure. The season's a failure.
It's a disappointment.
No, it's a failure.
No, it's not.
How is it not a failure?
Because they still had a solid season, and they made it in the bubble, and they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals against a hot team.
That's just the Celtics fan experience.
No
accountability.
I don't think going to the Eastern Conference Finals is a failure. My prediction fell short, so you can say my prediction has failed. The season is not a failure because they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals.
The 5 games to the Heat is a failure.
Well, it's not going to be in 5 games.
When fucking Milwaukee got bounced.
Yeah, Miami, that just speaks to how good Miami actually is. They beat Giannis and the Bucks. Handily.
All right. We'll move on. We're going to argue in circles. All right, let's talk about some football. I already want to talk about the Western Conference game going on right now. What do you want to do?
Why don't we stay on the NBA and then basketball? We'll go to this and then we'll go to that.
So how do you feel about what's going on right now with Denver and the Lakers?
I don't know, Andy. How do you feel about that series?
Let me pull up that game.
You should get a score check, but I
mean, Denver could realistically be up 2-1 in this series if it weren't for AD.
That's what I was going to say. It's like they've missed their opportunity.
Talk about a team playing above their expectations.
No, big time. I mean, I don't know. I
got the score here. 60-55 at the half, Lakers.
Nothing would make me more happy than to see the Lakers get bounced and for LeBron to go home. I don't like Anthony Davis either.
Yeah, I don't love him either. Something about him kind of rubs me weird, but
I wanted him on the Celtics too. Sad to say.
Shit, I would take him on the Celtics in a fucking heartbeat.
I was willing to give up a lot for him, if you remember that.
Which Tatum and Brown.
Yeah, probably some wild dumb take that I had about that.
Trade RJ.
Who do you think's going to end up taking the series though?
The Lakers.
I'll say the Lakers.
You had the Lakers sweeping them.
I did, and that's obviously because I kind of just thought the Nuggets' clock has run out and they were going to be tired. And
it seems like their clock has run out so many times, though.
Yeah,
they keep pushing, keep fighting. I mean, I was impressed to see them get that win the other night.
Yeah, it was hard fought, too.
I want the Lakers to win tonight so they can have another chance to come back,
make it 3 in a row. Shit,
that would be insane.
I don't.
They can't,
because that's not going to happen.
No.
I would like to see Denver win tonight because if Denver wins tonight, this series has a serious chance of going 7.
Yeah, I'll say season automatic success for Denver, and my prediction for the series is a hard fought Lakers in 6 or 7. I couldn't really call the game that it's going to end in, but Lakers are going to advance because there's no chance that LeBron lets them lose this series.
I agree,
in my opinion.
But I mean, are the Heat just going to go on and win the title now?
Honestly, people are saying that the Lakers are going to dominate either Eastern Conference team, but if the Celtics get hot and they come back down 3-1 and beat the Heat in 7, the Lakers aren't going to want to see the Celtics there.
Why not?
Because the proof will be in the pudding at that point. No
Sure.
need to
If they come back
elaborate.
from 3-1, yeah.
But if the Heat dominate the Celtics and win in 5 or 6, and they, regardless, even if they win in 7, they're looking really good. Like, I think they could give the Heat fits. They're so deep, or the Lakers fits. They're so deep. They're long. They have people that they can throw at LeBron. I mean,
I'll be pulling for Miami.
Well, it's just crazy that like a guy like Jimmy Butler, who's your best player, can put up 12, 14 points and you can still win a game. You know what I mean?
It's
he's
kind of
had
sickening.
What did he do last? Did he do much last
I
night?
think he made
20
20.
last
They actually
night.
had Harrow with his 37, and 3 other players with 20 or more. That's what
impressive.
That's what that team's
He was
about.
quiet in games 2 and 3, though, right? Where he wasn't shooting very
Quiet,
well.
But
It's crazy
turns
to
up
see
in the
how
fourth
he's
quarter always.
transitioned, where he was kind of like bouncing around the league, and it seems like he's almost found his home. I wonder if it's because the Pat Riley effect. I mean, he's got Pat Riley looking over his shoulder, the guy that's been around forever. I don't know. But, yeah, want to do our top 5, 25 or younger duos?
Sure, why
in the
don't you
league
start
now?
with yours?
All right, so 25 or younger, so...
25 or younger.
So Jokic does meet the
Are you sure he's
qualification.
25? You looked it up?
Yeah, 100%. You can look it up if you
No,
want to
I
double
believe
check.
you.
But yeah, I got Jokic and Murray, Luka and Kristaps.
So you're going 1 to 5?
Yep.
All right.
Actually, no, it would be better to go 5, but it's too
Too late now. We'll do ours 5 to 1.
Tatum Brown.
At 3?
Yep. Zion Ingram. Bam. Tyler Hero.
All right. Andy?
I didn't put mine in any particular order,
All right, then just go ahead and say
but I got
5.
Luka, Kristaps, Tatum Brown, Zion Ingram. I still have Simmons and Embiid, even though that's been tumultuous there.
Is
still
Embiid
think-
under 25?
I think so.
Or
He's only
25?
been in
look
the
up
league
right
like
now.
3
Probably
years.
close. It's probably close, but
I still think that those guys are super talented, and I mean, they have had success as much as
they have.
Embiid's 26.
oh fuck out of here.
Whatever. Still, you can still do
If you measure success by winning championships like RJ does, then they have had no success. But they've won series and they've done regular season.
Yeah, and
good
this
things,
this
so.
one's an up and coming one, but I got Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton.
Ooh, all right. I scratched them last minute out of mine. I'll go from 5 to 1, and let me mind you that I excluded Murray and Jokic because I was under the impression that Jokic was 25. So this is the lineup without Jokic for my top 5. But at 5, I have Zion and Brandon Ingram. At 4, I have Trae Young and Jason Collins out of the Hawks because Collins is extremely underrated. He's a very strong power forward. And then at 3, I have Kat and D'Lo. At 2, I have Tatum and Brown, and at 1, I have Kristaps and Luka, as it should be. You have Jokic and Murray at your 1.
Yeah. There's a lot of good players under 25.
Yeah,
The league is
New
in
era.
great hands.
Murray has really showed out for Denver. It makes me think that Denver is going to be if they could add another piece during the offseason, could be really good for years to come. But yeah, let's get to football. So, big win for the Patriots. It almost feels like a victory because of how good they played Seattle.
Right.
What was it, 35-30? Was the final score?
Yeah.
So yeah, how do you guys feel about their performance against Seattle?
Oh, I was pleased with it. I mean, you gave them a good chance. You gave yourselves a good chance to win. You had one play to make at the end of the game. Didn't like to see what actually happened, but
I hated the play call.
no, it was the
Patriots
right
call?
play call.
No,
that was
no,
the right
it
play
wasn't.
call. You want
I
him
hated
to
it as
pass?
Yes, I did.
I would have liked to.
So if he passed and then throws some stupid ball, or it's a drop, whatever, then
I'd rather them
then
do
everybody would have been like, "Oh, why didn't Cam just run it in?" They
on.
haven't been able to stop Cam all day.
I would rather them do a play where I didn't know what they were going to do from my couch.
I'm telling
I
you,
knew
like,
Cam was going to try and run that ball, and so did Seattle.
you
They
think
were-
Seattle? Yeah, you think Seattle didn't see that formation and instantly loaded the box?
He
And
wasn't
are like,
even
they're gonna-
close.
No.
And he
So what,
tried-
that's
tried
what
to-
happens on the goal line every time.
Come on, it wasn't even-
They'll bring in an extra linesman. You think the defense is like,
Why
"Oh,
not
they
trust
still
him?
might pass
Why not
here."
trust him to throw? He was throwing all over Seattle all game. He could have dropped back.
Why not hit Julian
Not when
Edelman on a
you're-
little fucking slant across the
From
middle
the-
or to the corner?
I don't know. I was completely okay
If
with
he's
the play
gonna-
call.
It was terrible.
If
I
he's going to run
disagree.
in like that, I would rather it be like a
Proof
QB
is in the
draw
pudding. Terrible
situation
call.
I could have said the same thing if Cam threw the ball.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah,
it was the third or fourth
you're
time
making
they ran the same play.
Though.
Yeah, but they ran that same play like
4 or 5 times
so
almost.
You can't go to the well with the same play again and
With
again.
the game
and again.
on the line, no time.
It wasn't executed right.
Well, they knew what was coming, so easy does it.
Nah.
Yeah, come on,
No,
Andy. They stuffed him on the 4-yard line, and he tried to dive from the 5.
Fine. Okay, well, that was a little ridiculous, the way he just, fell over
Yeah.
like a real person.
Clearly, he didn't really realize how far away he was from the,
It was
the end
just like
zone.
the second he snapped it, I was like, "There's no chance this is
I was
going
fine
in."
with the play call.
Well, talking about
Oh,
Cam,
Fucking standing to
Jesus
that.
Christ, dude.
I'll agree to disagree there.
Wow,
that was
that's
a
going to
shitty play
destroy
call.
everybody's fucking ears and
Oh,
fucking.
yeah. I always forget that.
I think you people.
It'll wake them
Matt's
up.
told you to
When they
stop doing
drive.
that too. To stop hitting
Yeah.
stuff and yelling.
You're gonna be responsible. We're gonna have a suit on our hands.
That was the fucking worst one yet, 'cause there's fucking cans everywhere.
Yeah, this studio's a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, a little bit. There's cat shit by my foot right
Clean
now.
it up.
I have me come down here. I'll vacuum it out.
You're down here right now.
Well, we're doing the episode right now, but I think we should paint the walls eventually. Maybe put up some nice lights. I don't know.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, whatever, fucking loser. All right, but I thought Cam looked good on Sunday. Last episode I was concerned what he was going to look like when he had to throw the ball, and I thought he looked great. It seems like him and Edelman got some really good chemistry going. Was zipping the ball into him, and I know it's only week 2, but it almost looks like the MVP from a few years ago is there.
People are
very
arguing that it's a
motivated.
better version of the MVP from a few years ago. That's what they're saying on talk radio right now. I don't know if I necessarily agree or disagree, but great signs from them. They get down double digits in the second half in the fourth quarter, and they have to air the ball out, and he marched them down with ease.
Yeah.
There was no concerns. He was.
Yeah, I'm not going to get mad at anybody for almost beating Russell Wilson the way he's been playing right now.
Yeah,
especially
that's
in
a
Seattle.
good team. That's a really good
that's
team.
a great team.
The defense is a little suspect.
So ours or theirs?
Theirs. Actually, ours didn't look good either.
No,
on Sunday,
35 points.
Okay,
but
so that's I'm not going to blame people for opting out because I understand.
Yeah, we talked about this
but,
last week.
If
Wouldn't
we
it
have
be
all
nice
of our
to have our
defensive
guys?
pieces, dude.
I went into that game being like, if we're going to go make a move, it should be on offense. And now saying if we're going to make a move, maybe it should be somewhere on the defense, on that front seven.
They got
to put some pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
And the secondary, the secondary is great.
It is what it is.
fine.
It's like a top 10 secondary. I'm not really. It's not what it was last year where it was the best secondary.
Yeah, but they can only be so good if they're not putting pressure on the quarterback,
Right.
and he's got all day back there.
Right.
You're going to get open eventually.
In regards to you saying you're flipping from adding offensive help to defensive, it's the difference is Cam's able to work with these young receivers and get stuff out of them, whereas Brady wasn't. And I don't know, you'd probably say it's because he wasn't willing to, which I think would be nonsense to say.
What do you mean,
willing to work or give these guys chances like Demir Bird or...
I think N'Keal Harry. I think
Harry.
he gave them a chance last year, but he didn't give them enough chances.
I don't know, it just seems like Cam Newton's vibing with these guys and they're having fun kind of playing like the unheard of role type play, and they're just going to go out and do their thing. He's going to throw to who's open. Bird looked great. Harry had a couple big catches too. Edelman obviously
with
played
the
out of his
career
boots.
high.
People I heard on talk radio, I forget which WEI show it was, but they were shitting on Edelman, saying that his drop in the end zone against Seattle was worse than Wes Welker's Super Bowl drop. That drop in the end zone where first of all, the ball was a little behind him. Second of all, he had a defender on him. Which drop I'm talking
I've heard
about?
people compare those two plays during the week, but I thought that throw was more on Cam, where in the Super Bowl it was more on Welker than it was on Brady.
Sure, but
you rather? So you kind of brought up Brady and how Newton is more working with the young guys.
Would I rather have Brady or Newton? Right now?
That's what I'm going to ask you.
I'd still rather have Brady.
Really?
But yeah, especially if Gronk would have come back with him. But
why do you? Well, we'll wait to talk about Gronk till we talk about
Gronk
the
in
Bucs.
our offense would still be a better version of Gronk over there, and the
I
Bucs
don't
where
know
they're
about
wasting
that.
him away.
No, it has nothing to do with him playing for the Bucs.
With that jackass head coach.
He sucks.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
How many catches does he have this year?
How many targets does he have?
I don't care. There's a reason for that because he can't get open.
No, he's not even. He's running out for passes.
And for you to say that he's going to be
5%
good if he came to New England again, did you see how he looked his last year?
Yeah, that was an injured year. This year he's not injured.
I didn't even want to talk about the Bucs yet, but What the fuck was I gonna say?
Just saying. Actually, no. What were you gonna get to?
So would you extend Newton right now?
I honestly, no. I still want to see a few more games. But if he is performing through week 6, I'm ready to offer him like a 2 or 3 year contract.
My thing is, I don't know why he would do that right now mid-season when the reason he signed this 1-year deal was he wanted to go have a good season and then go test free agency and get paid. I mean, they're not going to pay him when he's... They're not going to give him the money that he's going to want.
Writers are suggesting that the Pats will pay him.
The money
he wants,
when have they ever... Yeah,
no,
that's
it
what
would
I
be
mean.
totally uncharacteristic of the Patriots and Belichick, but if they really see something in him, I wouldn't be surprised if they offered him something like 2 years, $45 million, 2 years, $40 million, or 3 years, $50 million. And maybe Cam would be like, I'm worth more than that. I don't want to do that, but I would take Cam Newton on a 3-year, $50 million deal.
I just think right now it's like the perfect marriage where you need him for a year, he needs you for a year, and let it play out, and then see what goes down at the end of the year. I'm not... People who are... He's looked good, and I said it almost looked like the MVP Cam is back, but pump the brakes a little bit on the extension talk. And that's my only point. I mean, we're two games in. You got to prove that he can still stay healthy for all 16 games. And why can't we just wait till the end? Like, that's jumping to too quick of a conclusion.
If he does this for another 3-4 weeks, I'd be willing to give him an extension.
I wouldn't. I'm waiting till the end. Why do
if we go 4-2 and he's looking really good? Because what's the alternative?
I know, you're right. I don't... Stidham, where the fuck is Stidham?
This will be a guy who likes being here and will have known the offense.
It depends what the money's like.
What if you sign him to an extension and then he goes down for the rest of the season?
Sure, that would suck. Plain and
that's
simple.
Why you should just...
But that's why you don't give him guaranteed money.
You've got him under contract for the whole season. He's got the ability to make incentives. He can make upwards of, what, 7 or 8 million?
I have no problem with what he's doing this year.
Just hold on to him. Just from a business standpoint, you just hold on to him. You don't have to take care of him right away. See what he does throughout the season.
I'm worried less about taking care of him, more about taking care of this team, in that he might be the best option compared to what we would have in free agency or
some people
young
are saying
quarterbacks.
They should do right by him and at least guarantee his incentives because I think he can make up to $7 million this year, and because they still have a fuck ton of cap room because all the guys that opted out. So they're saying that, hey, show the team some goodwill, show him some goodwill, and then give him.
Then maybe he'll return the favor in free agency after this year.
Maybe. So this game, how do you feel about the game coming up this Sunday against Vegas? A game that when I saw on the calendar when it got released 4 or 5 months ago,
counted as an easy dub.
Yeah, pretty much. And now see what the Raiders did against New Orleans Monday night.
It's a coin flip. The Raiders actually have a very well balanced offense from running back to receiving core to tight ends. Because Darren Waller could arguably be the best pass catching tight end in the league. I know people are quick to say Kelsey, but that dude's a legitimate 6'7", and that dude has hands and he has wheels.
He's fast.
I'm worried Josh Jacobs is going to eat on the front
he probably will. I know we're going to get to our pick for the spread, but I certainly think that the Raiders cover and possibly beat the Pats. They're a good team. They're going to be in the playoffs this year as a wild card team, in my opinion.
I know it's week 3, but I don't want to say it's a must win. But you play Kansas City week 4.
Go down to 1-3.
You don't want to go to 1-3.
Yeah.
With San Francisco, you're playing the 49ers.
I had the banged up
7.
Niners. That defense is a shell of itself with no Bosa and injuries.
Still a good team. Oh, they don't have Nick. Yeah, you're right. I forgot they don't have Nick Bosa anymore.
Yeah.
And what's the latest with Garoppolo?
He's going to be out for like 2 to 4 weeks. I'm pretty sure with a shoulder injury.
I thought it was maybe his knee.
It could be ankle or knee.
I don't remember, but yeah, I do think he's missing multiple weeks.
I think the Niners, we all, I think, agreed that they were going to have a Super Bowl hangover. They're
still
a good team with talent, but I'm not worried about them like you would have been worried about them maybe last year.
Be as dominant as they were last year.
No, like I wouldn't even be surprised if Vegas had the Pats coming into that game as favorites when they do meet. But
so I got the Patriots winning on Sunday.
You do?
I think they're going to, like I said, they're going to get beat up by Jacobs a little bit, but I don't like Derek Carr. Don't think he's very good. I just don't like the guy. If you were to rank quarterbacks in the league, he's probably not in my top
20,
12, top 15 at least. I
don't hate Derek Carr.
He had that
a few years ago. He was
he had the flash and then he broke his leg and then he fell off.
I think that team has bought into John Gruden in his system, and they're playing tough for their new city. I agree with Andy. I don't think Derek Carr's the worst. I'd say he's a 14th through 18th ranked quarterback with the ability to do better.
Of the road, yeah.
He can he can sling the ball. I mean, he's got the weapons this year.
You put the right pieces around him. He's not a guy who's going to lose you games. He's not a guy who's going to win you games either.
Sometimes,
really,
he could probably do either. Sometimes,
yeah.
I'd say he'll win you more than he'll lose you. But I mean, that team seems like it's going to be a solid defensive team with a hard ground and pound and the ability to throw when they need to.
I don't know how much trust John Gruden really had in him coming into the year in the offseason when he went out and got Mariota.
I mean, that's just a pickup for a backup. I don't
they gave him decent money.
I don't buy too much stock into that.
But if you trust Carr, why are you even going out to bring in Mariota? Carr wasn't good
Carr's
last year.
injury prone.
What did the Raiders do week 1?
Yeah, he wasn't good last year, but he was good 2 years ago before the injury.
He's had maybe one good year.
Out of what, 3 with one injury season?
I think he's been in the league more than 3
Yeah,
seasons.
but how many years has he been a starter? 3, maybe 4?
I mean, that leg injury was
2017?
It might have been 16.
No. 7. It had to have been 17.
Maybe it was the 2016-2017 season. They got hurt towards the end.
What did the Raiders do week 1? Who did they play?
They played
Carolina.
Carolina whooped them, so they're 2-0 right now. I think they could possibly beat the Pats, and or at least it's going to be a really close game.
I mean, they've looked good, and I think that they could beat us, sure, but I'm not going to hype them up too much. I mean, New Orleans was missing Michael Thomas, and Drew Brees really didn't look good in that game.
He hasn't looked good.
They looked really. That speaks to that defense then, because they looked real good against the Bucs. They tore them apart in week 1, and then they go and play Oakland or Las Vegas, and they look terrible. And people are going to Twitter to say Drew Brees is washed after that game. So I think there's something brewing in Las Vegas, and that's something to keep an eye on.
I like Gruden, so I wouldn't be too disappointed if that happened. But another reason I'm picking the Patriots is 1 o'clock teams normally, 1 o'clock teams. West Coast teams normally struggle at 1 o'clock games because of their time. It's 10 o'clock, which you usually don't see.
Yeah, it doesn't seem.
Yeah. Usually it would be. I feel like usually when the Patriots have a West Coast team coming to July, it's usually like one of those 4 o'clock games, which I'm surprised that they're playing at 1. You don't. That happened to I think the 49ers. Well, they won because they were playing the Jets. But yeah, I didn't get the exact win-loss record of teams in that situation, but I know it's vastly under 500.
Yeah.
So more NFL talk. What are some of your best and worst moments of week 2?
I'll give you. I have a bunch, but I'll give you a best and a worst here, and then I'll let you guys carry on. I'll get away from the best. I'm gonna give you 2 best and 1 worst for now, and let you guys say your moments. But one of my best is Cam and the Pats showing some grit against Seattle in the second half, turning it up and forcing that comeback. Another best would be Vegas putting a beat down on the Saints. And my only worst, I had 5 bests and 1 worst. My worst was the play call on the last play of the game in the Pats game. That's the worst moment of that week.
So my best moment was Harrison Butker hitting those 2 58-yarders, won the force overtime, won the win overtime. Those are
on that too.
Ballsy kicks.
Yeah.
He probably could have kicked both those 64, 65 yards. He murdered those things. And my worst moment has to be the onside kick bail for the foul.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That was so bad. Clearly the guys don't know the rules. They don't know that they can, when you're the receiving team, you can touch it within 10 yards.
Yeah.
That
was embarrassing.
Really bad. And then another best moment I had is just some of these young quarterbacks looked good. Herbert looked good.
Yeah, I have that. Herbert and the Chargers
Taylor.
Showing up against Kansas City.
Joey Burrow looked good Thursday night against...
Joey Burrow's got the sauce.
Baker,
yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, Baker looked good too. It's good to see 2 young quarterbacks go head-to-head and have a good game.
Sure.
My worst was definitely the onside kick, but I thought it was pretty cool to see Leonard Fournette have a good game for the Bucs in his debut.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it wasn't technically his debut.
But still.
Second game.
But, you get cut and then you drum off. What was it? I think he had 100 yards and a touchdown.
He had that long run at the end. But...
Piggybacking off of the Bucs, honorable mention for best moment is Brady getting his first win with the Bucs. His stat line didn't stand out, but he did hit 2 receivers wide open for potential touchdowns, and they completely dropped them. So
McCoy's
dropped, and then he hit another dude on the sideline that hit him, went through his hands and hit him on the fucking helmet.
Also threw a horrible interception.
Sure, but he should have had 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a good game. So Brady and the Bucs are on track.
What was Gronk's stat line? 0 catches.
Doesn't matter, because next week he's going to have a touchdown and 50 yards.
Didn't you say that last episode that he was going to have a touchdown?
Yeah, but haven't you been calling him trash both weeks?
Yeah. And I've been right.
Yeah,
You're just going to keep saying he's going to get a touchdown each week.
Well,
that doesn't seem like
he's still
like a take
he's still
anymore.
playing 75% of snaps. It's just the fact that Bruce Arians isn't running him on fucking routes anymore because he's a dickhead.
No, it's
idiot.
because he knows that Gronkowski can't get separation and actually get open.
You'll see.
You're eventually going to sit in front of this microphone and have to accept that he is done.
He's still going to have 700 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns at the end of the year.
I'll take that bet.
Sure.
He is not going to end up with 700 yards.
I will take that bet.
What does he have,
day.
like 12 through 2 games?
It's all right. We got a lot of time here.
You should put some money on that.
No, we'll see.
So, yeah, you don't actually think it's going to happen.
I do. All right, sorry. 600 yards and 6 touchdowns.
I'll even take 500 yards.
I'll take fucking 300 or 400 at this rate.
All right, we'll evaluate next episode, and after you guys see what he does this week.
Another one of my worst moments, though, is just all the injuries all over the league. It's not good for anybody. Saquon tearing his ACL.
Sticky turf.
Did you hear the...
They're investigating it.
Kyle Shanahan was
yeah.
bitching like crazy after the game about that turf in the Meadowlands. I guess they put in new stuff, and I was watching that Monday night game where it was the Giants and the Steelers, and I thought the turf looked different. It didn't look good on TV, so yeah, they must have changed something new.
I like this segment. If we're gonna be having football talk every week, we gotta have a best worst moments of the week. But
sounds good to me.
Another my last written down moment of the week for best was Julian Edelman turning back the clock. He's 34-year-old slot receiver. The dude went out, put up 8 receptions for 180. I mean, he's
a career high. At this point in his career, to have a career high in receiving yards is pretty impressive.
The dude is 3rd in the league in receiving yards, and he's only 3 yards back of the tied for first leaders. And I forget who they are. It's Ridley and
my new fantasy receiver.
Who's that?
Edelman.
No, Edelman is 3rd. Oh, yes. I was trying to figure out who the two... Because there's 2 people tied with 239 yards through 2 weeks, and Edelman has 236. No, Hopkins is 5th. It's Ridley and might even be Robbie Anderson. No, I think he might be 4th. But, yeah, speaking of your new pickup, what are your thoughts on Andy's trade in that league? What was it, Andy?
I gave up Robert Woods and Robbie Anderson.
Okay.
Two Bobs for Julian Edelman and Will Fuller.
Okay. I have a negative feeling towards it because I've never liked Will Fuller in fantasy, and I never will.
Okay, well, there's no D-Hop there. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of buying Will Fuller low in that trade because I still think that he has the potential to be number 1. He had a goose egg this past week, but he also pulled his hammy, came out, went back in. I don't think he saw that many snaps. And Watson wasn't really looking his way. He was kind of looking more towards the tight end and giving it to Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb is not going to take too many targets
I'm just saying, my genuine feeling is that team is garbage, and I really think they're going to be like a 6-10 team.
Okay, so garbage
with a bad offensive line.
I will take players from garbage teams for fantasy all day long because it just means that they're going to be throwing the ball a lot.
I think that the move for you was getting rid of DJ Moore and getting that value out of a top receiver from him and then keeping Anderson, but I'll let you rock.
Are you sure you're not under that spell of just trying to do a fantasy football trade?
There was part of me that kind of felt that way after.
We all run into it. Because
I didn't feel like I was losing the trade. I didn't feel like I was particularly winning the trade. I was like, trading's fun. I think it's one of the more fun things about fantasy.
I've had probably 8 trades decline this week.
I didn't want 2 Carolina wide receivers. Julian Edelman, yes, he's an injury concern, but if he keeps doing what he did this last week, then, he's a top 12 wide receiver in the league. Like a wide receiver 1, I'm saying, but I don't know. I feel okay about it.
We'll see how it turns out. Hopefully,
exactly.
Hopefully Edelman plays this week and he's questionable. But how about these mask fines going around?
Ridiculous.
I want to know, where does this money go?
Yeah, I was wondering the same.
It goes right to the fucking exec's pockets.
Right to the owners.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Goes to a big.
Well, probably not the owners because the owners are partially the ones paying them.
Yeah, it goes to NFL
execs and Goodell and their advertising money, all that.
Hot tub and cocaine parties.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't heard, 3 coaches these were the fines. The coach gets fined $100K individually, and then the team themselves also get an additional $250,000 fine, and that's
steep,
that's a first-time offense.
That is so fucking steep.
And
granted, the NFL did come out and warn all the coaches after week 1, saying we are stressing the importance of keeping.
And we're gonna fine the shit out of
yes.
you. Yeah, but
So,
it's like,
Why do they need to wear them?
why do the players not have to wear
It's
masks?
all eyewash.
Everyone's getting
It's
texted.
all eyewash.
Yeah, it probably is.
That's
really
what
is.
it has become for the NBA, where they're reporters that have nobody near them.
Yeah,
where they're
still
getting
holding
tested every fucking day,
Yeah.
and they're wearing a mask just to
It
wear it so that it looks
How are you
good.
gonna spread COVID if nobody has COVID?
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
take your
Not to be
fucking
naive,
mask
but
off.
like,
no, but you're right,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, it's
We were mask on last episode. Now we're mask off.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Who did get fined?
it was Vic Fangio, it was Pete Carroll, and it was
Did Sean Payton get fined? Or
Sean
Gruden?
Payton.
no, it was
Gruden did get fined from the Monday night game.
Yeah.
Was it Gruden? I thought
And
it was
Peyton. I think both of them got fined.
I know
from Monday
McVay
night.
got hit week 1 with one too. But I mean, if they're getting tested, why do they? I don't know. It's once again just, hey, if we're gonna have a season, have games, let's just at least make the coaches wear masks so it looks better.
Alright.
Enough of the pandering.
Week 3 matchups. Who you got? What are you guys looking forward to the most, RJ? How about
I'm gonna
you?
go Houston, Pittsburgh.
All right,
No,
you're
I'm
just
fucking-
trying to rattle me.
No,
Give me 2. Everyone, give us 2 here.
I'm gonna go Ravens, Kansas City as 1. That's a gimme. But then I went
sure.
Green Bay and New Orleans.
Green Bay, New Orleans. It has all the advertisements. 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Sunday
Two
Night
solid
Football.
teams. Sunday Night Football. We can all hope for it to be good. I think Green Bay is legit this year.
Yeah.
I think they're going to make a playoff
Aaron
run.
Rodgers is
Feeling the disrespect
on the,
From them
he's
drafting
on a-
Jordan Love, and he
Yeah.
went the other way where it's motivated him.
Apparently
which I give
Jordan
respect
Love
towards.
He's on a fuck you
is
tour.
in a relationship with Aaron Rodgers as one of his exes,
Yeah,
Olivia
right.
Munn.
Really?
Yes, I read that in
I
an
thought you were
article.
going to say Danica Patrick. That'd
No.
be funny because they just broke up.
you, Danica.
But yeah, so there was a funny article. It was like, is Aaron Rodgers using Jordan Love and Olivia Munn relationship as fuel? But
Aaron
What the
Rodgers is a
fuck's the
fucking
age
weirdo.
difference between...
yeah, probably a decent. I don't even who is Olivia Munn. Like I know the name,
She's
but
an actress, right?
I know Olivia Wilde.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking of, actually.
The
I'm
name
gonna look
sounds
up.
look her up.
Olivia what?
Olivia Munn, Munn. But yeah, I think the Packers are the real deal. What are your week 2 matchups? to look
Week 2
forward to?
matchups, Monday night, Chiefs-Ravens.
Sure.
Gonna be fucking awesome. And I'm actually gonna take...
Jesus, what the fuck? She's 40, and what is he, like 21?
21, 22, 23. Yeah, what does she look like? Do we recognize her?
She's kind of hot.
Pretty
Yeah.
hot for a 40-year-old. I
I've
don't
never-
recognize her.
I
though.
don't either.
Don't recognize her at all. That's your only one? You don't have another one?
Oh, I did. I'm actually looking most forward to Patriots-Raiders.
I like that. All right. Well, I'm glad I have totally different matchups. I like Rams-Bills.
That's a good game. I like that game.
I like, because did the Rams drop one this week? Or
No,
did
they're both 2-0.
Both 2-0. We're pulling for the Bills to lose, and I think the Rams can hand them a loss. And then Cowboys Seahawks, in my
Yeah,
opinion, that's
I
going to
like
be a
that one.
fucking shootout, man.
Yeah.
That's the game of the week slot in 425 this week.
Yeah, we're going to give our picks on the spread in a little bit.
Yeah, I love that game right there. Although the Cowboys got bailed out by that onside kick dilemma last
Should
game.
be an
but-
0-2 team
yeah,
with a lot of pressure.
With a lot of pressure, and they bailed themselves out. But yeah, I like
a lot of good games.
a lot of good games. We got fucking 5-6 games here around this table. So
You want to quickly run through the 2-0 pretender contenders?
Yeah. So here we are. We'll quickly, I'll go through
we'll just
them.
say pretenders,
Yeah.
contenders. We won't even elaborate.
Arizona. Contenders.
Contender.
Baltimore. Contenders.
Contender. Actually, pretender.
Really?
Yep.
I knew you were going to say that. Buffalo. Pretenders.
Contenders.
Pretender.
Bears. Pretenders.
Pretender.
Packers.
Contenders.
You say pretenders?
Yep. Chiefs. Contenders.
Contenders.
You don't want to say contenders for them or Baltimore because you hate Mahomes because you don't want him to touch Brady's legacy.
He won't touch Brady's legacy, but
You're
I
pretty
said contenders.
insecure when it comes to Mahomes.
I said contender. Relax.
Okay, you didn't say it like you didn't. You said it like you didn't want to say it.
The Ravens pretenders though. They'll lose like they do every year.
Rams.
Honestly, I'm
gonna
gonna say
contenders.
contenders this year.
I'm going to go pretenders. I think they'll fall off.
Probably.
Pittsburgh.
Possible.
Contenders.
Contenders.
Better than Baltimore. Continue.
Seattle.
Contender.
Pretenders.
Pretenders?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yep. I don't like their defense.
You're an idiot.
Somebody's not. You guys ride Seattle's dick. I'm gonna take the other
because
stance.
Russell Wilson might be the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, second
He is.
best. Second best.
Better than Mahomes.
No, he's
Continue.
not. No, he's not.
Better than Mahomes.
Titans, pretenders.
Pretenders, yeah.
Now, quickly, I want to go over the 0-2 coaches on the hot seat, and you tell me if they...
Fire or stay?
Yeah, if they're like, you really think that they are under consideration to be fired, or you do it. So, start things off with Doug Peterson in Philadelphia.
Fire!
Super Bowl winner.
That was when they had Frank Wright there as the offensive coordinator, and they have not looked good ever since he left.
Fire his ass.
That team's so injury prone. That's probably why it's lasted this long. I'll say he's going to stick around.
He can stay. Next up, we have the cokehead, bug-eyed Adam Gase.
Fire his
fire.
Yeah, he's not
Ridiculous.
Did you see him after the last match? He was like, I don't like losing like this. He's a fucking Jets,
He's
dude.
lost your whole career, buddy. What are you talking about?
Joe Judge. Judge for the Giants.
I mean, he's new, so we'll keep him
he's
around.
going to be
And
fired,
he just
though.
lost his star running back.
That hire was horrible. In
He'll
my
get a
opinion.
pass all season because of that.
We kind of talked about this before. Mike Zimmer.
Fire him.
Fire.
He's on the hot seat. I think
He's been around too long. They've had good runs, but fire him.
Minnesota's Brian Flores not on the hot seat. In my mind.
Keep him
Bill
around.
O'Brien.
Fire.
How many
Idiot.
times?
Please fire Bill
Yeah,
O'Brien.
what are they doing?
Matt Patricia. Fire. Vic Fangio.
Keep.
Fire.
Fangio?
I'm firing
No,
him.
keep Patricia. Fire Fangio because of what he did on that
Monday
game.
Night
Yeah.
Football doesn't know how to manage the clock, idiot. Zach Taylor from Cincinnati.
We'll leave them around. They
yeah.
don't look bad this year. They're fine.
Who else we got here?
Dan Quinn from Atlanta. Fire.
He's got to go.
His team doesn't even know how to. The rules
He's
on
gotta
that
go, I'm
sidekick. And
sorry.
then Matt Rule from Carolina. He just got
that
hired.
team. I
But
don't know, put
that
any-
shows how many fucking bad coaches there are in the league that we just went through and said that there's 7 or 8 coaches that should just be fired.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, maybe we should form like a 3-headed dragon coach of an NFL team.
I'll do that. I'll coach special teams.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that. That didn't really make any
I don't
sense.
think I would even
Weirdo.
give you that dignity to coach.
What are you going to make me coach? Running backs?
Nah.
Be a positions coach.
You could be
You're more of a linesman coach.
Is that a fat joke?
Yeah, obviously it took you like 3 seconds to get it. Drunk. All right, so let's do some betting talk. Quickly, Jesse, you got a parlay or a lock?
I do have a parlay. I have a 4-team parlay, 4-team NFL parlay this week.
Ooh,
I
like it.
We got the Bucks versus Denver. The Bucks are -6. I'm throwing them in my parlay. So Bucks -6. I got Rams +1.5 against Buffalo. I think they're going to win outright anyways. I got the Vegas Raiders covering against New England +6. It's a lot of points to be given the Raiders after their start. And then the obvious lock of the century, Pittsburgh -4 against the Texans. Throw all those together, $25 to win $300.
Okay, my parlay.
I like it.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to go halves on that.
I went with a non-football parlay. So
Okay.
I went all football. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I've got one football in there. 3-team. Jesus.
Sorry.
Everyone's going to think you have COVID
I'm
now.
sorry. It's my allergies.
So, I got UFC fight coming up Saturday night. I got Israel Adesanya, middleweight champion of the world at -185.
Take Costa.
I got the Heat +3 tomorrow night.
Ugh.
And I got Atlanta money line on Sunday. 30.
Atlanta against who?
Fuck, I should have looked that up. Atlanta versus, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
But $30 pays out 110. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. And
Okay.
then my lock. Okay, so once again, I was wrong last week. I picked the Vikings +3
Who got scraped?
by the Colts. But I'm going back to the well. I'm going Vikings at home +3 versus the Titans. The Titans are frauds. Minnesota is not. They should not be 0-2. I think they outright beat Tennessee come Sunday.
Okay, I disagree there. Before Andy gives any of his bets, I'll get to my locks because I didn't know we were
No,
doing
go
parlay
ahead.
and
I
locks.
really don't have any good.
Okay, well, my locks I have 2 locks. Pittsburgh -4 against the Texans. They're going to kill them. The Texans are a garbage fire. Pittsburgh arguably has the best defense in the conference. Pittsburgh -4. Other than that, it's Celtics money line. Bet your mortgage on it. I don't care. Celtics money line.
Yeah, do that if you want to lose your house.
Hey, honestly,
shits are-
you want a real value bet? Bet the Celtics to win the series. That you heard it here first.
Why
No,
Why
that's
are you
not a
like
value bet.
telling people to just burn their money?
I'm not.
Yeah, you are. They're not gonna come back and win the series.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
God, I can't wait for an episode or two from now.
Yeah, you're gonna be up on a mountain when their season's over. It's just, it's perfect. It's a perfect scenario
I'm gonna
for
be
me.
at a New Hampshire pub or watching it on some phone Friday night by a fire, and then come Sunday's gonna
will be game
Game 6 when it happens, which it inevitably will. We'll be back here, and I'll be able to look you in the eyes and say, Game 7, yeah,
that's not happening. But you got a fantasy sleeper for week 3. So I got I'll go with McKinnon, Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah,
I picked him up on the waiver wire. I don't know how much really of a sleeper he is, but you got a sleeper or anything?
Yeah, I'm going back to the well like you went back to the well. Malcolm Brown in a run-heavy game against the Bills.
Was
the
he
Bills
questionable this week?
He's going to play, but the Bills have a strong secondary. I think the Rams will look to pound the ball this week. Malcolm Brown, sleeper. He's getting in the end zone.
I'm gonna say you gotta if you're looking for a quarterback to stream, pick up Matt Stafford off the waiver wire. You got Kenny Galladay coming back this week.
I love
Who's
that.
Detroit
I got
playing?
Kenny Galladay.
Huh?
You know Detroit is playing.
Let me check real quick. I got you. Arizona.
Arizona. Okay.
Oh, that's going to be a shootout in my opinion.
So a stardom that I have is either whether it's Eckler or this kid Kelly from the Chargers. They're playing. Who the fuck are the Chargers playing? I'm fucking blanking. Oh, they're playing Carolina, I believe. And Carolina's run defense
Yeah,
got torched by Josh Jacobs.
They're going to get up and they're going to pound the ball.
And got fucking torched by fucking Fournette and the
Jones. Yeah. I like that. Are you going to do your sit-em or you want me to give me my stardom?
I'll do my sit-em. That's Gurley.
I almost picked Gurley as
Matt
my
Ryan
sit-em.
has thrown the ball.
sit-em?
Yeah, Matt Ryan has thrown the ball. I want to say like almost 50 times each game, and he has one catch.
And they're playing the Bears, right?
Yep.
The
and
Bears
have
have a
good
solid
defense.
front seven.
I have him, so he's still in my lineup right now. I have my 3 running backs are Gurley, Jonathan Taylor, and Kamara, and I have bumped Gurley down to my flex, and I'm debating on whether I'm going to put him in my lineup. It's either between him or Terry McLaurin.
Wow. McLaurin's coming off a big 7 for
So
125.
I'm almost thinking about
touchdown.
benching Gurley. He's coming off a really, really bad week.
My stardoms this week, I'm a huge guy who loves to draft kickers and defenses a little earlier than you should. I did not draft this defense, but my 2 stardoms happen to be my 2 defense and kicker combo. Start Justin Tucker against Kansas City. I could see them taking a lot of field goals, settling for a lot of field goals, and it's going to be a high-scoring game.
A kicker.
Yeah, start Justin Tucker, and you start the Colts D against the Jets. Plain and simple. Both are going to go for over 12 points. My sit-em, David Johnson against Pittsburgh.
That was my sit-em too.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's a good sit-em. The
Yeah.
stardom, though, a kicker. Come on.
Well, when he goes for 16 points, you'll understand why I said it.
Okay.
Yeah, my stardom was Mike Davis. I know you picked him right up.
Carolina?
Yeah. This was probably the biggest week for wire pickups in fantasy.
Yeah, there was a lot.
And oftentimes you see these guys, they break the bank on all their fab money, right? And they go get guys like Jerick McKinnon or Mike Davis. And then they let them sit on the bench to see how they're actually going to do. Start Mike Davis. He's going to get...
At least 15 touches, probably.
Yeah, he's going to be fine right
Yep.
out of the gate.
Okay, let's quickly do our picks against the spread. Andy, you hear me that?
No, yeah, I got it.
You got it, Jesse?
So I'll go over the records
Yeah.
currently. After our 5 picks from week 1, RJ's coming in at 4-1. I'm coming in at 3-2, and Andy's coming in at 2-3. What's the game that RJ won the advantage on here? RJ, well, it's kind of hard to
Might have been the
decipher.
Patriots game.
Yeah, actually, me and Andy both picked the Pats to cover, and the Seahawks ended up covering by 0.5 points, so RJ ended up taking the lead there. So, all right, RJ. I'll get right into it. I'll get right into it. So we got New England versus the Vegas Raiders. Raiders are +6 against New England. I'm going to take the Raiders to cover.
Same.
I'll take the Patriots. At home. Win by a touchdown.
In front of nobody.
By the way, I think the Lakers are up 6 or 7 right now, heading into the 4th.
I hate seeing
I would love...
abbreviations.
Yeah, there's no A, though. I don't know why I did that. It's just LV.
Oh, Lav.
I would love to find like a football...
That did not look right.
Like a
Los
football
Angeles,
song.
Vegas.
I would love to find a football song that I could like put behind this segment. Like,
A
I don't
football
know, yeah.
song?
yeah, like what's the Chris Berman one that he does?
No, it's like a nice minute ticker.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
So-
I All right.
No,
so
I don't think that's it.
next game
I can just do that while you guys.
we got Green Bay. We got Green Bay versus New Orleans. New Orleans is -3. I'm gonna go ahead and take Green Bay.
I'm
Plus
also
3.
going to take Green Bay.
And they are at the Superdome or Metrodome, whatever you call
Contrarian
it.
side of me wants to take New Orleans, but I gotta go Green Bay there too.
All right, the house takes Green Bay. Next, we got Baltimore and Kansas City. Baltimore is -3.5.
Kansas City.
I'll take Kansas City. And I know RJ wanted Kansas City, but it's now considering Baltimore because we both took Kansas City.
I'm going to go Baltimore for the show.
For the show.
All right, we got Dallas versus Seattle. Seattle's -5. I'm taking Dallas to cover and possibly Dallas to win outright.
Seattle. I'll go Seattle.
All right, and last but not least, we got. Oh, come on, this has got to be fucking unanimous. Houston, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh -4. You already know who I'm picking. Pitt.
I'll go Houston +4.
Yeah, I'll jump on with RJ.
Oh, I love it. All right, I should be looking to take the lead this week
I don't
then.
know if I love my picks there, but hey, I'm going to ride or die by it.
All right, so yeah, picks are in.
Great slate of games this weekend.
Pittsburgh almost blew
Yeah,
it. Pittsburgh
way
almost
better
blew
than
it
last
to-
week. Way
Agreed.
better than last week.
Pittsburgh almost blew it to Denver, so
Come on, Pittsburgh's legit this year. Shout out Ernie. He doesn't listen, but shout out Ernie, my Pittsburgh friend.
So, quickly, before we go, we won't do any miscellaneous topics, but this could be our last episode together. You guys got a scary hike up a mountain coming up this weekend, and this could be it for you guys. One of you guys might not come back. One of you guys might die during this climb.
Yeah.
it is one of the deadliest mountains to climb.
We are hiking Mount Washington. Yeah.
How many people have died? A decent amount.
Like 1,600.
And that was record started.
That's when people hike it in the middle of fucking winter.
Those records.
So are they
what do you
all-
think
We're also going up the easiest trail.
those
so is
records started in 2000. 1,600 people since 2000.
So are those people
No, I'm just
freezing to
kidding.
death?
Yeah, or they fall.
So how could you fall? So there's a real chance
If you
There's
pay
some
for the hike,
spots.
you'll see some spots that you could fall.
and you could die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy I'll be staying home this weekend, sitting on my ass watching the Celtics.
Sleeping in your
Doing
bed.
what you do best.
Yeah, you're gonna have so much fun climbing a fucking mountain.
I am gonna have a lot of fun.
Have fun missing the Celtics game, missing all the games on Saturday, and
What
probably
time
missing
are the
football.
Celtics on?
Celtics are a night game. We'll see them. They're Friday night. That'll be our first night in town.
We're,
We can either,
Jesse and I are going to be in a fucking bar
yeah.
watching the
Oh,
game.
good. So let's make sure that
Yeah, we'll
happens.
make that happen.
Zach's
They
gonna
don't have
come.
bars
Peter
up.
will
Right
come.
up RJ.
They don't have bars up by that mountain.
Yeah, they
It's
do.
lying
We're
to
in,
you.
we're near a New
Talking
Hampshire
about-
town.
It's like a
Conway.
lodging area.
Yeah.
I still have money that Jesse's gonna flake on the hike tomorrow at 11.
Wow, I'm
you're gonna
running
get
out of time to flake under
You're
12
gonna get a
hours
text
now.
from him that he's not coming. So that's my prediction.
Jesse,
so
is there any?
No, I'm a little
validity to
worried that I spikes. Do you think I should be worried about
You
that?
don't need spikes. I thought maybe there was going to be some snow and ice maybe towards the top because there was some ice up there.
If
a
it's
couple
going to be
weeks
around
ago.
56, 60,
I mean, it's probably going to be like 40 degrees at the
if
top.
there was ice, a few weeks ago, there's going to be ice now.
No, because it's going to be it's going to warm up.
Well,
It was
I
just-
have
it was at
nothing.
the very top,
I
just a
really
little
only
bit of
have
ice.
like sneakers. And,
You want to go get some hikers tomorrow before we leave?
I mean, if I can find some hikers for $30, sure. But
Yeah, we'll go to Deals and Steals in Northampton.
Jesse's gonna get to that steep part. He's just foot
nah,
slips.
I'm gonna
dead.
do some last minute shopping tomorrow around 10. Get whatever I might need. Got a sleeping bag coming in.
Last thing quickly, what happened to your boys at Manchester United losing to my Crystal Palace? Like I said last episode, and I was gonna fucking wear my kit, and I forgot. Yeah,
No comment.
frauds.
We didn't play. Our boys weren't fit. We played a lackluster squad. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta say.
Man U, frauds. Boston Celtics,
What were you guys going
frauds.
to go? What were you guys going to go over with the Premier League here?
We're just gonna talk some stuff. I didn't even look at the match. But
I really just put that down just to fucking talk shit about Palace over United. But yeah, I got nothing else I need to get to. I'm pretty much good.
my World Series champion is the Dodgers. That's
Oh,
my
that's
my
actually
pick.
who I had too. And it's just gonna be shoved in the face of all the Red Sox fans. And Mookie Betts gets
Are
a
the
ring.
Pirates in?
No, but the Padres are going
That's
to be
your
in.
thing.
The
Okay.
Padres are
They're
good
the
this
Padres.
year. All right.
I like the Padres. It's a good
They're good.
pick.
Oh,
They're
thank
good.
you.
Okay, we'll end on that. I will definitely talk to you next week. We'll see if these guys live through the hike, and if they are, we'll be back.
We'll see if RJ doesn't do another episode behind our
Next
backs.
time you hear from us, the Celtics will be going to a Game 7. Maybe even they'll be moving on to the finals. So
Yeah, no chance. All right, we'll talk to you next week.
yeah.
See ya.